Hello lovelies, I am the Fragnostic, and tonight on The Holy Truth we're taking a rusty crowbar to Wooden Floor 2 Resurrection, the long-awaited sequel to the original classic Wooden Floor that I might have only played yesterday, but still caused me to toss and turn in my bed last night, hoping for a continuation of the wood and the floor and whatever else was supposed to be happening there. I don't know, something about... Oh, I guess it could... No, I really don't know. But maybe this is the part where it all gets explained. Maybe this is the gaming equivalent of the Star Wars prequels, answering all the hard-hitting questions that we wanted to know, like, what was Darth Vader like as a kid?
It's not fair.
Wow, a whiny little crybaby. How about Luke? Wow, a whiny little crybaby. How did the Jedi Council ever allow a Sith Lord to gain control of the Senate?
Misa proposed that the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
What a great answer. Now here's one for you. Could you return my fucking money, please? You may have noticed that yesterday's Wooden Floor review was a little on the short and stumpy side, but that was really because there was nothing to say about it. It pushed you through identical looking rooms and corridors for an hour before springing a boss fight on you that you didn't even have to bother winning, and then shoved you out the fire exit. See? Fire exit. Yeah, I know, yeah, I got a ton of them. Hang on, I've got a great one. Let's start over. When is a floor not a floor? When it's a boring, pointless slab of broken shit. If there's any credit to be given at all to Wooden Floor 2, it's that it takes serious talent to make a game, learn absolutely nothing from its failings, and then not only produce a sequel in under a year, but intensify those failings to the point of grotesquerie. More baffling is the fact that while the original had at least the good sense not to market itself outright as a horror game on account of containing very little horror, Wooden Floor 2 whomps out the horror in its short tag description, despite containing absolutely nothing of the sort. I'm not exaggerating, there is nothing that could even remotely be construed as horror festering in this narcoleptic wandering simulator, unless you're rocking some niche phobia about walking around in motherfucking circles and having to restart the damn game every 5 minutes. Things initially look quite positive. The title screen promises to pop you off into fear itself with that shuddering violin wailing from the Insidious movies, and we're immediately freed from the monotonous restrictive house of the original to run free like a good dog through a dark yard that seems to have multiple locations to visit. The game still doesn't have a sprint key, and it's taken the jump button away, so no more platforming sections I guess. But hey, Doom got by just fine without one. And if it's good enough for Doom, it's good enough for you, motherfucker. You're introduced to the new inventory system with the lantern and go traipsing off to explore. Blocked, eh? Must have to come back to this one later. Note, you will never visit this shed again. Yep, no way through here. Nor will there ever be. In actuality, the only place open to you is the chapel. Ring the bell, smash the floor, walk through a corridor twice as long as it needs to be, and grab a crowbar. Hooray! Now we can open the gate and enter the house to battle more variations on this collect item A to progress through barrier A puzzle formula, which, you know, at least in the first game the procedural generation was something of a novelty to distract away from the fact that literally all you were doing was finding keys while furniture fell over. But here, apart from one set piece, it's practically abandoned. You're now just pacing up and down the halls, hammering the use key in the vain hope that Wooden Floor 2 will give you the key items you need to progress. Need this door handle? You sure do. Not that you'd fucking know it by way of it not having the same highlight marker as the rest of the usable items in the game, or not actually being allowed to pick the fucking thing up until this wobbly bollock chunk of shunt fudge randomly decides that you're allowed to, but you do. And if you're not begging the game to work properly, you're begging it to bloody work at all. Enter this goddamn corridor at your peril. I mean, you don't have a fucking choice, it's a requirement to progress. but half the time you go in there, you never come out. You're just left trapped between areas in a black limbo with no other option except to quit back to the desktop. I guess it lets you look at your inventory at least, but you don't even have your lantern anymore because it broke on the way down here. Here, in the only place in the game that you'd actually need the fucking thing to see where you're going. No matter whether you personally enjoyed the original wooden floor or not, I think we can agree that its inexplicable final boss and bizarre ending were pretty bloody far from its strongest points. But they were a damn sight stronger than this horse shit. Lighting needs to be rebuilt. Paths need to be rebuilt. I'm sorry, did you even bother finishing this fucking game before you released it? I mean, this is it, isn't it? This really has got to be the absolute lowest point of this channel so far. We've played some god-awful fucking games on here. Truly we have. Nanny Nights, Once Bitten, Twice Dead, Operation Z, Taken, we could go on, all riddled with hideous bugs, glitches and broken mechanics, but fuck me, they were finished. You could struggle to the end of them. Here you just go through a door and find the point where the developer gave the fuck up. No way forward, so you lump yourself into the abyss and crash the game again. I've sat here for 10 minutes trying to think of the correct words, the right insult to hurl at this, but there's nothing in any language I'm familiar with. I'd probably have to resort to some untranslatable Japanese epithet, or the divine but impossible tongues of the alien architects themselves to express the simultaneous bewilderment, disgust and... Oh no, here we go. This hippo's got it covered.